your girl Nina Montañez.
Hey, yo, what it do? It's your boy Rue, and I'm coming for you. And this is
Sofrito Speaks.
Hey, welcome back. Damas y caballeros. Welcome
The first
back.
time we did it in unison, kind of.
Welcome back to the official episode 4 of Sofrito Speaks. And if our laptop will let us live, then we can deliver some great content for y'all. But we are back on schedule. Let's jump right back into our first section, which is El Chisme, the part of the show where we let you know what had us fucked up or jodido. And if you see me looking at the screen a lot, it is because I am monitoring the laptop. Baby.
So anyways, I'm gonna jump right into it. I had myself messed up because I, for the life of me, could not figure out why I was in or am in the slump that I am in. I don't want to be in the slump anymore.
Slump Lord.
I don't like it. I'm having the hardest time waking up in the morning. I am sleeping peacefully at night. My gym schedule has been out of whack. I'm like skipping meals, not on purpose.
Wow.
I only ate once today.
Whoa.
I ate breakfast this morning, and then I just started getting busy doing stuff, and then I don't think until I stop, and I'm like, I haven't eaten yet. Yeah. So I'm just like trying to do like a self deep dive as to like what maybe triggered it or what, or maybe it's because I have this allotted amount of free time in the morning that like I need to restructure my brain into getting back into the habit. I couldn't tell you what it is. So I got me messed up right now, and I'm still trying to figure it out.
Do you... Like, what do you mean you're trying to figure out why or how you ended up getting slumped?
Yeah, I was going dumb hard. Like I was in the gym.
Around what time did this start?
I think 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
But I'm just like, I don't know. It's weird. I typically enjoy going to the gym, but now it just feels like I'm dragging my ass to get there. Like, I don't know why. Last week I only went 4 days, which was still better than 2 weeks ago when I only went 1. So we're slowly getting it back. But if I just don't want to go, I'm just not going. Like, I'm just not even gonna beat myself up about
Welcome to my life.
Ruben's like, you got it. You get it now, sis. Welcome. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to make plans with people. I punch the air when I have to follow through with these plans.
The air ain't did nothing to you, baby.
You feel me? I'm just beating up the air for no reason, just wasting energy.
That's why the weather's so fucked up. It's pissed.
It's mad at me. But yeah, I genuinely don't know what it is. Like, and then I also want to like pull through, especially if like I'm the one that initiates plans. I'm like, no, you did that to yourself, so you need to show up. And yesterday I actually caught myself wanting to make plans with people, and then I immediately was like, oh, no, take it back. I take it back. And I took it back. And I didn't do the things that I said that I wanted to do because I was like, I actually don't want to do those things. I actually just want to go home and sleep. And that's what I did. So, yeah.
I think it's hard to have a social life when you, like, when your mind constantly plays those tricks with you.
Yo.
Because before we recorded this, we talked about how we'll make plans at the beginning of the week and then come the day of the plans and we're like, absolutely not.
Listen, if I don't hear from you the day we got plans, I assume it's canceled. And don't expect me to reach out.
My anxiety doesn't allow that. So I will hit you up and then I'll hit you with the, I don't think I'm going to go.
I'm just saying.
I was there Monday, not today.
We're not here today. We're just not. Yeah, but then it sucks because it's like, how do you make plans? Yo, matter of fact, I just remember somebody texted me, asked me what I was doing on Thursday, and I completely forgot to respond. Yep, I never responded.
Mm-hmm. That was me this past weekend.
But I'm like, I feel like I have something to do on Thursday, and it's not coming to me because Thursday rings a bell, and I don't remember what it is. So I would hate to say yes and be like, I actually can't. So
What had me fucked up? Don Julio had me fucked up. Let me tell you something about Don Julio. I don't know.
Don't come for him. We know what he said in the last episode. Don't come for him.
I don't give a damn what they put in that Don Julio. But baby, me and Julio, we have a great time, a grand old time. Ever since I discovered tequila, it's like life changing. And I even posted on my story the other day, like, I love tequila.
You do. This is new.
I started drinking like tequila after the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I was a honey girl. I know. I have a lot to make up. If you're a honey girl, comment down below and also comment a prayer emoji because I'm praying for you. If you're still a honey girl in 2023, like honey is wild.
Alcohol has evolved since then. I think it's time.
I mean, I don't even want to think about those days anymore.
You're literally
right, like
I'm gonna throw up.
But Don Julio, really, I've been rocking with it right now, and this weekend was the second time that I had it.
I'm not gonna hold you. It's smooth.
And that's the thing.
It's very smooth.
And then, while I'm drinking, because I get turned on, I'm like, oh, we out here. Like, I'm alive. Like, let's do this. So I get all active.
I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, this is why I'm glad I'm single. Because if I had somebody in the wings waiting for me.
Wait, no, that's not where I was going by turned on. I mean, like, personality.
Meanwhile, I'm like.
So I start, like, every, 20 minutes, I'm like, the moon is 758 miles away from Earth. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No. Oh, no. I got offered. And I said immediately no. Because we're not doing that. I have to drive. I know off, what I'm having right now, I'm good. But if you crossfade, props to you. I don't. I feel like I don't.
Was 3 years ago. 2 years ago? It's oh my god, I'm telling on myself, mi gente. Last time I was crossfaded, I've only been crossfaded 2 times since I started drinking. And the final time was Easter Sunday of 2021. Yep.
Oh wait, that was your birthday party?
No.
What was
before?
Oh.
It was the month before my birthday.
Oh wait, Easter's in May? April. When is Easter?
Easter's in April.
Okay.
Well, they said it was my birthday. I'm like,
no, I know your birthday, but I didn't know. I thought Easter was in May.
No, I think it was like April 9th or something like that year. I don't know, whatever. Yep.
Yeah, no, the crossfading does not happen anymore. I hold a very big limit to that. Unless if I'm at my homegirl's house. If I'm at my homegirl's house and I know that I'm safe, like if I need to sleep over, which everybody knows, like I always make it home.
I'm going to preface this. So this was BC, before Christ. Like this was like months before I got saved. I just thought about that. I was like, oh, that sounds terrible. This was the last time I crossfaded was like months before I got saved. So thank you. Anyways, continue.
And there we have it. I also just don't crossfade unless I'm at my friend's house and I know I can sleep over. But if you crossfade, like I really do pray for you because
like we talk about it. What are you going through?
It's just like why? Like. Bro, I know I have friends, and this is no shade. This is all in lighthearted fun.
Yes, we love you.
I have friends who will start drinking and then start smoking, and I'm like, all right, cute, it's getting somewhere. And then one time just came out with mushrooms, and I was like,
hey, wait a minute.
I was like, not all of this.
When we said crossfade, baby, it was 2 things.
Not all of this for a cookout. For a cookout. Wild. Are you that? Well, this friend, it was actually in New York.
Takes 2 things to make a crossfade.
Oh no, they were trying to hit all 4 of the corners, honey.
Out here.
I said immediately, I was like, you should get some water. And here's why. It's a lot going on in that stomach. No.
Why'd you imagine think about it, but not?
Well, because I do wanna try it. I've heard great things from certain people.
But I have not.
But I heard a lot of it has to do with where your state of mentality is. If you're depressed or in a dark moment, that is probably not the time you should be doing shrooms. But if you're in a good space, if you're in a good headspace, then I heard it's a great hallucinogen. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Hallucinogen. Right. So I would like to try maybe camping or something. I mean, not that I can't.
Literally every person I've ever talked to that's like, I want to go rent a cabin in the woods with a jacuzzi.
And I've heard people.
And I'm like, a cabin in the woods? That sounds crazy to be
Nah, because the way that I get daredevilish, like,
I'm trying to fight a bear. What are we talking
no,
about?
I'm gonna be very honest with you. Like around last summer, like me and my friend, after a night of this was like at like 1 a.m. I was like, "Yo, I dare you to come with me on the hiking trail." He was like, "What?" I'm like, "Let's go on the hiking trail. Let's go on the hiking trail. Let's see what we can find." We went on a hiking trail at 1 a.m. in Andover, Massachusetts, in the middle of the woods.
You went to that one?
No, not that one. It's a little bit more up, but it was beautiful because like the moon was a full moon. We didn't peep until we get there, and literally the moonlight was just shining on the path, and I was just like, "This is amazing." It was amazing,
That's cute.
and that's not the alcohol talking. That was really just like, and then we had to turn around because it got a little dark, and I was like,
It was a little dark.
"Not there being darkness at night."
Right. The nerve of you to show up.
So that's why I'm afraid of doing mushrooms in.
Because you feel like you want to go.
I would be that friend, like
Christopher Columbus.
no, I would be on the I would be that friend that's like in the movie that just disappeared first, and it's because I did it. Yo,
It was me.
but yeah, that Don Julio had me fucked up. I woke up the next day, very light hangover. I was very surprised, but I was just like, "Yo, Don Julio." I think I think I have to keep it on the X list though.
You gotta keep Donnie on the X list.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's too much. Like, it doesn't hit you when you're drinking. It's like like it slowly creeps up and it does this whole like boom. Like you're just like, oh shit.
I would have been. I guess time to go home.
I'm talking too much.
I need to
Oh, and that's it. All kicked in at the time that everyone was like, it's time to go home. I was like, oh, it is.
What am I supposed to do with all of this?
I was like, not me drinking all of that just to drive home. Little Miss. But yeah, that's how me fucked up.
Anyways.
Let's close this section now and head over to our next section, which is...
Terrible.
Ay, bendito.
Alright, mi gente, welcome to Ay Bendita, which is the part of the show where we are just going to give you any local news, national news, worldly news, whatever we felt that we deemed worthy to share with you.
I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't got no news. You got news?
I think the only news that I have is Trump's trial is underway.
Oh, I saw that.
It's cute. That's all I got about it. And then also in San Antonio, a man was charged with manslaughter because he failed to buckle in his toddler and they got into a motor vehicle.
Getting into a vehicle and not putting your seatbelt on as the first thing you do.
It's giving why did I get married plot.
It's giving wild. Like, who raised you? Who raised you? My mother would beat my arse if we got in the car and the car took off and our seatbelt was not on.
Oh, my mom used to get heat.
That was not allowed.
The car is moving.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And then she still does it, like, as an adult. Like, if you get in the car and you do not put your seatbelt on, she's like, so we just going to sit here all day? I'm like, oh, my bad, player.
You right, sis, you right.
And I do the same thing with my friends. If you get in my car, seatbelt. And I have friends who hate it, and I'm just like, I don't care. You could walk, because I'm not dying. I also am not letting you die, because I don't have the money to pay for that shit.
I'm not trying to explain to your parents.
I'm not trying
what happened.
I'm not trying to explain to another adult why you should wear a seatbelt when you get in the car. That's wild. So
I'm to be like, yo, you like that sound? Because I don't.
And it doesn't stop. Some people drive. I have a friend who drives, and they just keep. And I'm just sitting there like. In other news, Beyonce announced that she's dropping the Renaissance movie December 1st in theaters.
What movie?
It's a documentary about the world tour.
Oh, that makes sense.
I already requested it off. I'll be going. I didn't get to go to the tour, so I want to be a part of this movie and see. I love documentaries, especially Beyonce's documentary. She puts a good storyline together. It makes me really feel inspired. That documentary she did for 4, play that shit on repeat. Like such an iconic. She did I forgot what it was called, but it's the one where the drone is like up above and she swims in the ocean and it keeps backing out. She's just talking about how she loves being in the water. And I'm like, this had nothing to do with the album, but this was amazing.
You're so
that scene, I always watch it. I'm like, they must have been short on time.
We needed an extra 4 minutes.
She's like, you know what will work?
I'm just going to get in the water. And
a passage about water. And there she went. I love when I'm in the water. But it was a beautiful scene. So they have that. I'm trying to remember like all the morning shows that I listen to. Everything's a blur right now.
Damn, what else was there? Your student loans have officially kicked back on for the month of October.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yep. Also check out that Mass Reconnect for those of you guys who want to return back to college. I mentioned it in the last episode, and I'm going to mention it again because it is still out there. And also there's this other program that I feel like I mentioned it once before, but a RAFT program. So you apply for this when you are in a financial, crisis, and you're like, let's say you have to move out of your apartment. You can apply and they'll give you like $3,000 or $4,000 so that you can get another apartment. I've heard some people even got up to $10,000. So it's for emergency use only. Obviously, it's case by case. You can apply on mass.gov. And if you are looking to get an apartment, look into that because all you really need is a letter from whoever your landlord is now stating that you have to be out in the time that you have to be out. This is what I was told. I don't know. And then from there, the state will look into the case and probably contact the landlord and everything. So Mass Reconnect, Mass Raft. Adrian Ho, and I can't keep up with the name because like, girl, what is it? Adrian Bailon, Adrian Ho. I know, but like sometimes she still goes by Bailon, and I'm like, girl.
What's her stage name?
Okay.
How the hell I know more about this girl?
Listen. After she did the reel, I was like, baby, we're just not gonna get the album. Got it. We got it, girl. We got it. Okay. You got new money and we love that. But her brand,
Le Boots?
Yes.
The suits?
Yes.
It's so cute. I want one of the suits. So they're so freaking
and
cute.
She just
Where am
did
I going? I don't know, but I think it's so cute.
She just did
They did a mini pop-up for Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Or they did it in New York. They had like a Le Boot store.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn.
And people got to meet her.
I'm not a fan of the bag, but that's cute if you like purses. I personally don't. But the suits.
Yeah, affordable.
Are they? I haven't looked at the prices.
They're pretty affordable.
What is affordable?
You can afterpay. Just kidding.
That's essentially what I was asking.
I wanted to. She did all things. Whatever her channel is. This is another thing too. Like, I feel like every time I see Adrian on YouTube, there's a new Adrian. It was All Things Adrian. It's Love Always.
Why did she change it?
I think All Things Adrian was sold to because after a while
she was partnered with Kin.
She was like on a network. And I think she left that network or her contract finished. So she could not use the name anymore. She had to do another one. But she also has a YouTube channel.
No, he doesn't.
He has an
Instagram.
It's just wild to me. It's hard to keep up with everything.
I
but
don't understand.
She did a 10-year collage, I guess, of the reel and like things that she said then versus how she feels about it now and if anything has changed. Ooh. And the first thing that came up, which I never saw this episode, but apparently she loves sucking toes. And
what?
Yes. So apparently she said that. On national television? Yes. And she was like, what are you supposed to do with your husband? Like, do you guys don't try new things? She's like, I don't care. I still stand by it. I still suck toes. Comment down below if you like your toes suck. I was like, oh. And then she was like joking to Ever, like, yes, Ever. She's like, I hope that my son finds a woman who is good enough to suck his toes. I'm like, okay. This is all on YouTube for free.
She can never just like say the thing. She needs to drag it. Like, we gotta do the most.
She talked about that too. She talked about how like she wishes that she wasn't so open all the time about a lot of things because
she went in
but she also talked which was interesting, but she kind of,
I'm assuming, did she allude to like when she said that she plans to have sex every single day while she's married?
She's talked about that before.
All the girls looked at her like, bitch. All the married ones. Let's see how you feel about that.
Now we know because she's out here sucking them toes. Okay, honey. So
so Israel enjoys it then.
Okay, Tubba Wubba.
Anyways, continue.
Also, she talks about how like she went through a lot of trauma and how when she was coming up in the industry, she was known as the Ice Queen because she was just like very snappy and very attitudey. And I was like, yo, that's true because a lot of people from the past, like makeup artists and stuff, and y'all know I'm a Thrill W fan, so I watch everything. And they've all mentioned how she was always so rude and catty and just like, and I'm like, damn, that really was how Adrienne was. But yeah.
I can see that.
Miss Adrienne, baby. Amanda Seales, her documentary.
Oh, like her comedy in Amanda We Trust?
Yes, in Amanda We Trust. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. I still have not checked it out, but I hear her talk about it all the time, and I need to make time to sit and purchase it because now you have to purchase it on Patreon. But a lot of people were thinking that she was running for office, and she was like, no, I'm absolutely not doing that. But I think it's in the cards for her. Honestly, I think it's down the line, but it's true what she says. She's like, why would I run for office to then be fighting the system when I can be out here just really educating people on how the system works? Because once I'm fighting the system, I can't sit here and educate y'all. You can't have the best of both worlds. She's like, you have to focus on one or the other. And I'd rather educate everyone on how things are than to go in there and then fight for everyone. Yeah. She's like, that's what they have the people who are doing that for. We need to step up and demand more. And I was like, yo, Amanda Seales' morning show is lit. Make sure you guys check that out.
She's just so dope.
Make sure y'all check that out. And then I don't think of anything else that happened last week. No. Last week was not tornado week, right? That tornado.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
What we got for Ay Bendito. We good. Oh,
yeah.
Wait, that was funny. Nope, completely forgot what I was gonna say. Doesn't matter. All right.
Let's close this section now and head over to our next section, which is Caldero Talk. What's up, everybody? That's Adrienne. What's up, everybody?
No, it's you guys. What's up, you guys? Yeah, okay. What it is, mi gente, real quick. So we are we're a mess. Anyways, so welcome to Caldero Talk. If you've made it this far in the show, you really be rocking with us because we just two people that just be talking our mess, and sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. But here we are, still doing this 3 years.
The kind.
Right. So this is the part of the show where we're gonna give you the topic, the main idea, the meat.
The kind
of what we're gonna talk about. That's just what it is. So have a seat and prepare to eat.
Oh, wait a minute. This is what y'all get on a Monday after an 8-hour shift from both of us. Like, bullshit. We just out here. We doing it, okay? Because I'm over here like, am I awake right now? This one's rapping. I can't.
Yo, okay.
What's up, everybody? All right.
Woo! All right, so here it is. I keep getting asked this question a lot, and so we thought we'd bring it to this platform. How does one know when it's time to cut off a toxic family member?
When you have that thought. Conversation over. Next section. I feel like cutting off family members is tough.
It is tough.
It's a tough subject. I feel like for a family member to be cut off from me, I mean, they'd have to do something really, 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 really bad and really have no remorse for it.
How bad?
Like, I'm talking about steal from me. I'm talking about, adultery, with a partner of mine.
I feel like that one's gonna catch hands. Stealing, I'll cut you off. Messing with my partner, we're gonna run hands.
I feel
I would have done it before.
Calling ICE on me just to double check, like rude, cut off. Are these things you've been through? I guess I don't know. I feel like I've never really. Well, I have cut off family member in the past. Family members. My dad, prior to him dying, we didn't talk for years, and I had cut him off. But that wasn't easy, you know. And I cried a lot. I cried like almost every birthday that I didn't get to spend with him because of that. Because I made a decision to just cut him off from my life. When in reality, and in retrospect, I always say if he didn't pass away, I probably wouldn't think the way that I'm thinking. But then again, I question myself because a few months before he passed away, I had said to myself, I'm like, I was sitting on the steps in the Bronx, and I was sitting outside, and I'm just looking outside, and I'm like, I think I need to see my father. I think that there's a heavy emotional issue going on. I think that there is a trust issue going on. I couldn't trust anyone for the fucking life of me. And I realized that like, yo, I need to go figure out how to see my dad, and I'm going to surprise him. And I know he's going to receive me because I'm old enough now to understand. Yeah. You know, but when he passed away, that was one of my biggest regrets. Is like being so just full in my head and being like, yo, this person died. Like, I'm never going to be able to talk to this guy again. And they were on earth and you didn't appreciate that time. So that could probably attribute to why it's so hard for me to cut people off now. Because I know what that feeling is like. And, you know, that's why it's hard for me to like, I can say, oh, I'm not going to talk to this person anymore. But at the same time, it's like, that's so but if you love this person and love, I can love you. You could hurt me and I could still love you, but I don't have to tolerate you. You know, and I feel like that's easier for me if I can just walk away, and I tend to pull back slowly and just be like, zip. Yeah. You know. And if you catch the drift, you catch the drift, and if you want to bring it to my attention, bring it to my attention. And if you don't catch the drift, then we're just going to keep operating in this space.
Yeah. That's so interesting that you say that, because like it makes you want to keep people around because you know that like time is limited versus me. So we haven't been quiet about this. Matter of fact, it's October. I believe our anniversaries are coming up. My brother's it'll be 19 years since we lost my older brother, and
I'm gagging.
Isn't that crazy? And I think that
my dad's gonna be 10 years
after that. I think that it became easy for me to cut people off because I'm like, I lost one of the most important people to me. Bet anybody can go after that. That's how I took it. So I don't put weight on a lot of things. I just don't, and I probably should. So I have cut off family members. Some family members have cut me off, and that's absolutely okay.
Can I say something real quick? So, you mentioned earlier that you were in a rut. Baby, the body remembers trauma.
Hey, yo.
And the soul is preparing you. It is taking you through the motions. That just clicked for me, and I mention it because it's not just you. I like two things just clicked right now. What I just mentioned about my dad and how I deal with and how I deal with cutting people off. And when you just said that right there, and I just realized like, yo, it really is that month for me as well. And you've been going through it. I've been masking it well, but you've been going through it. And something told me like last month, like, yo, cut the drinking back. Boom. It was cut back. Yeah, I went out. Yeah. But baby, the way I was drinking, like the soul, the body was remembering the trauma. And here we are, and it's unraveling. And it's literally just like this episode of like, you want to stay in bed, you want to stay home. I've been, if anyone knows me, I'm for the streets, baby. I've been craving my bed. I've been craving my room, my bed, television, comfort. Comfort. I just want to feel comfortable. I want to feel warm.
You fucked me up with that one.
So.
That just messed me up. I didn't even put two and two together. I guess grieving happens in different ways. And my body started to grieve long before my mind did. It was good, yo. It was good. You know what I'm saying?
My God, my heart dropped. I think we're gonna start crying. I'm like,
no, I wasn't.
We're gonna pause this and come right back. Here's a message from our sponsors that got taken away from us, Spotify.
Anyways, moving on. So yes, I am I'm not as quick to cut people off as I used to be in the past. I actually had someone recently call me and was like, what do I do? And I was like, listen, I'm going to tell you what old Nina would have done. But we've grown from that. So I'm going to tell you what I should have done all those years, but I wasn't doing. And so, shit, we're going to go there. Let me take my shoes off because we're going to go there today. We're going to go there. All right. If you know, you know. I'm not shying away from it as of this moment. So it's a Sofrito Speaks exclusive. My twin sister and I are not on speaking terms, and we haven't been for the last 2 years. That was a tough one. That was a really hard one to have to let go, because if you know me, then you know that I have always kind of tried to protect her. Like, I've been my sister's keeper, and I had a revelation maybe like a month after I had gotten saved, and it was that I'm not her keeper anymore. I can't, because in being her keeper, I was keeping secrets, and they were killing me on the inside. They were hurting me more than anything else. And I always wondered how somebody could freely live their life, but there are other people that are like suffering internally because they are holding on to things that they had absolutely nothing to do with. And with that came that revelation of like, you can't keep it in anymore if you want to advance. And if I want to go where God is going to take me, I have to let it go. But if I let it go, am I ready for the repercussions of what's about to happen? And it was sitting in that for a while, and the peace of God that came over me that was like, no, it's time to speak your truth. And so with that, I remember leaving the house one day. It's about 2 years ago. I was leaving the house one day, and her and I were already in turmoil. We were already not seeing eye to eye. I don't know if it's people she's hanging out with. I don't know what it was, but I know that at some point I was public enemy number one, and I don't know why. And a couple comments were made before that were like, oh, you're just not friendly. Or, you can't be trusted because you don't have friends for X amount of years. And then I'm like, hold up, because I don't carry dead weight, I'm a problem? I wasn't growing in any of these friendships, and that's why I let them go. Like, you gotta understand when you need to let go. And I think I learned that.
But it's a lot of people don't know.
Exactly. So I think I learned that a lot sooner than most people. So to other people, it's like, what do you like? My longest friendship right now is like 10 years. And I'm like, that's still a long friendship. Like, just because I don't have a friendship of 15, 30, whatever plus years, it doesn't mean that I'm a villain. It just means that I know when it's time to part ways.
But again, friendship is not measured in the amount of time that you've known someone or been with someone. It's measured in the quality that person is giving you at the time that you guys are friends.
Thank you. And the people that I have in my life now have been expeditiously, like, just, you shut up. This man just learned a new word. And they've just been amazing people, like, and I can't even explain it. Like, I'm just like, wow, like, if I would have stayed in that old setting, I wouldn't be where I am today. If I tried to hold on to that, I would not be who I am today and where I am today if I stayed there, and I would have missed out on a lot of opportunities. You feel me? And with that, I'm sure that she said what she said to her people. I'm kind of just sitting here like, I don't know what was said. And then when I heard pieces of what was said, I was taken aback. I was confused as hell. Because one thing about me, I've always been one to tell both sides of the story. Like, I don't, whenever, like, people laugh at, like, yo, you're mad long-winded when you tell a story. And it's like, yeah, because I'm telling you my side, and then I'm also telling you what they're saying, too. Like, I'm giving you both sides. And, you know, it was a blessing. It had to happen because I was able to shed that. And I've always said that my sister was my kryptonite. And to this day, mi gente, I can't be in the same room as her. Not yet. Can't do it. My spirit is not right when I'm around her, and I don't like how I feel when she's around. And I'm not saying that she's a bad person. I'm not saying
this has nothing to do to paint her character.
Yeah, I'm not trying to paint out her character. It's just, if we're gonna keep it a buck, I can't talk about this topic and like not keep it 100 with you guys. Like, I can't be like, I have a friend that, nah, fuck that. I am the person. It is me. I had to cut off my twin sister in order to elevate. And that sounds crazy, especially in a Hispanic family where you are taught that blood is all that you have in this life. And you have to do everything for the family, not when it's at the expense of your mental health and how you view yourself as a person. So that's when I knew it was time to cut somebody off, because when I started to hear the things coming from other people, I'm like, how is the person that I literally came into this world with saying these things about me and has never once brought it to my attention? That does not make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me how I've been there for this person for X amount of things. And she has her own story. I can only tell you from my side, from the moments that I did show up, the moments that I was bending over backwards to show up in these certain spaces and places in order to be somebody for this person who looked at me and thought less of me because of whatever reason, and then never gave me a reason. That hurt. When I tell you it was like twisting a knife. It hurt. And I didn't know how to talk about it for the longest time. I didn't know how to present it on this platform because I was like still protecting them. And I was like, there's gonna be a point. And I think I said it in a past episode where I was like, I'll give you all those details at a later date when I feel like it's time to be able to talk about it. And at
Season
the time,
5.
And at the time, I wasn't able to talk about it in a way that didn't anger me, that didn't cause sadness, that didn't make me paint her out to be the villain. I would not have been able to do that a year ago. I would have just come for everything then. But now I'm like, no, you're more settled and at peace with it. So now you can speak to it in hopes that it helps somebody else. If you need to hear me say it, and if you're going through something similar, maybe it's time to cut them off. It's time to cut them off. If they can spew hatred, if they can paint you out to be the bad guy when you know in your heart that you've done everything that you could possibly do, it's time to let them go. Like, it's, and Ruben has had to hear me talk about it. Like, it wasn't easy. It's still not, because I know that, especially knowing that my mother's wish is to see all of us together. I understand that, but y'all, when I tell you, God has wrecked me about this relationship. God has wrecked me. I have been on my knees, sobbing. Like, I will be in worship, and somebody will start singing a song, and I drop mic out of my hands, and I am mascara gone, and all I'm praying for is for my sister. And it's not even like, God, remove all the, no, it's literally, God, just scratch the surface. Just allow her to feel your presence, so that way she gets curious and wants to draw closer to you. That's it. I'm not praying for her to change. I'm not praying for him to change her. I'm just praying that she has an encounter with God, because I know what he's done for me and my older sister. And if you listen to past episodes, you know that her and I didn't even speak for 5 years. And now I am my nephew's godmother. Only God could have done that. There's no other way. There's no other anything. I don't care what you believe in. I know the God that I serve, and Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. That's the only reason I can even sit here right now and talk to you about that, about this topic. And it might sound heavy to y'all, but like, it's freeing to be able to finally say this on these platforms, because I felt like there were so many things I could have talked about, so many avenues I could have gone with things, and I was like, but I can't touch that yet. I can't touch that yet. And now that I get to finally like play with it, like, I'm just like, let's go. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, Ruben had no idea it was gonna go this way. Ruben was like, ooh, baby, yeah, they're Sofrito exclusive. And it's hard. And it's hard because, like, a lot of people that listen to us are from the city, and like if you went to school with us, you know this person, you know who I'm talking about. And you know, I my sister had reached out to me to be like, you know, basically telling me like not to talk about it, and I'm like, but it's my truth. You can't silence. I understand that to you it sounds harsh, but you can't silence my truth. It does. Does it suck for you? It doesn't suck for me. Does it suck for you that we both came into this world together and that unfortunately my humanity is tied to yours up until the age of 27? Yeah. But for the last 3 years, this is the most free I've ever felt once I cut that cord. And it's not to say that, you know, it's severed and it's gone forever, but there are just some significant changes that have to happen. But in those changes, trust when I say I'm not going to shut up in my truth. Because there's a reason why I went through the things that I went through in order to come out on the other side. When I talk about my trauma, when I talk about, you know, having bullies or whatever, I was talking about her. And it's hard, and it's hard to hear. And the only reason I can now say this out loud is because I am prepared for the day that she comes back to me and says what her issue is with me. I need to be able to receive that and not be angry about it. I need to be able to hear her heart and what she's saying when she tells me. Because I'm sure there are things that I've probably said in the past. Absolutely. I'm sure there are things that I probably did in the past 1,000%. That she might remember that I might not. But I need to be prepared to hear those things in order to reconcile and come to an understanding. And that is through growth and healing and God. For me, that's how I was able to get there. And it was me having to be humbled in the secret place when I'm just talking. It's just me and God. It's just him revealing to me the parts of my heart that were broken. And I tried to bury that relationship so far and try to remove myself from it for so long that when I had prayed to God and said, hey, reveal the parts of my heart that I have not allowed you to enter yet. And when he revealed it to me, it was my relationship with my twin sister. And that wrecked me about it. I cried. And God allowed me to place the blame. He allowed me to grieve that. He allowed me to be angry. And then it was, okay, now it's time to recognize the part that you played in it. Okay, cool, we did that. And now it's time to put into practice the things that you learned from that to be better from it and use it as ammunition to be able to speak to people. And when I got baptized and, you know, when my pastor had prophesied over me and was like, you know, you've been given the gift of influence. Like God has given you grace to influence others. I did not take that lightly. I was like, oh, dag. And, you know, specifically, and I have the video on my Instagram where he was like, your voice, God's going to use your voice. People have tried to silence you. You know, why you got to talk like that? Why do you have to say that? There was a reason for that. So the more that I got being told to shut up, not to speak about those things, you know, that's not fair or whatever, but it's like, I'm helping somebody. And you know, if I'm going to live as a Christian and live, you know, this life of trying to be more like God left 99 to go get the one. So even if me speaking on this, you know, helps one person, then I did something right. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's free. It's how do you know when to cut somebody off? When you can no longer be a better person when they're around. That's when you cut that family member off. And it's not for forever, but it's until you can do the work.
I agree. I think a cutoff is never forever. I think even in my trauma, like I've been able to, you know, I always have a friend who I always stop talking to and go back to. And, you know, part of that stems from that with my father. And just my biggest thing is trying to see the better in a person. But I've learned that even if you can see the better in a person, one, they don't see it for themselves, and two, it's not your job to teach them. You know, I have a responsibility to myself to make sure that I'm good and my mental health is good, my space is good, and I can't lead you to water and be mad because you didn't drink. You weren't drinking water before I met you, so it's like, why am I mad? And I'm actually going through this right now, you know, with certain people, and I'm just like, I have to sit and catch myself and say, like, why do these people keep doing these things to themselves and repeating the same behaviors and hanging around the same type of people who just hold them back so much? And I'm in this fire of like, I need to find a way to move forward. I have to find a way to move forward. I'm in talking with my best friend, and like him giving me advice and just like seeing that it's possible. I can get myself to where I want to get to. And then I go hang over here and it's like guilt. It's heavy. It's like, why am I doing this? So and then you sit there and you ask yourself, like, what can I do? Do I cut these people off? Do I stay hanging around these people? I love them to pieces, but sometimes, to your point, yes, I can cut you off and separate myself from you for a little bit. Here's a little bit of tape in time to just say, hey, go do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I got to do. No hard feelings, always love. But I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
This I can't do. So.
Yeah, I think that, like, if the person is manipulative, if this person is narcissistic, if this person...
And majority of the time they are.
Yeah. If they don't know how to take accountability for any parts that they play, or they try to downplay how you feel about something, I would pay attention to that. Pay attention to, like, when you do try to confront this person about maybe something that how they made you feel, and they kind of gaslight you into making you think that, oh, it was your fault that they reacted the way that they reacted because of something you did. Pay attention to that. If you think you're going into a conversation every time thinking like you have the facts straight and you left no stone unturned, and then once you finally talk to this person, you leave confused and heavy because they turned the tables on you, and you might not have been prepared for that. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to how you, like we talked about this in the past. Pay attention to how your body feels when you're around somebody. Your body might be telling you something, there's just a lot. There's just a lot.
That's always that. Ever since I learned that has been the wildest thing that I've like paid attention to. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to how your body reacts around certain people, because it is telling you what you need to know. Mm-hmm. I'll notice I'll start fidgeting. Mm-hmm. I'll start, like, certain people, I'm like...
My voice gets, like, super high-pitched because I'm trying to remain, like, chipper or cheerful. But my body's like, it's time to go. No, we don't reside here. But yeah, if you're sitting there and you're wondering, and, like, you guys are probably wondering, like, about parents. Like, how do I cut off my mom? That's my mom. This is a tough one. That one is a tough one.
This is a no contact generation. This is something that I revisited from another podcaster. And it's crazy to me that people, I mean, I get it. Obviously your parents can be some of the most toxic people in your life. And as someone who at one point cut off his mom and at one point cut off his dad, I was luckily able to reconnect with my mom, and I had to work through that relationship. Mm-hmm. I had to sit and have the rough talk and like, yo, this was not cool. This was not this, and see it from her point of view, and hear her story. And it's like, I think I told you a few years ago or something, like, or a few seasons ago, this saying of like, yo, your parents were people before they were your parents. Yeah. Yep. That shit hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, whoa, I totally forgot. Mm-hmm. My mom was a freaking 15-year-old walking around with me in her stomach. Like, what the hell did she know? Mm. And what the hell did her parents do to her to make her want to make that decision at 15? And it's all of those things tied into one, and that goes through my mind, and it's like, I can't fully blame you, but I can help you. Like my mom, I love my mother. I can help you. I will never give up. Yeah. Why? Because even my hardest time, she never gave up on me. So it's like, for me, that's a non-negotiable. Like, I can't cut you off. Can you piss me the fuck? Yeah. Will I drive and not talk for? Mm-hmm. Like, and my mom knows when I'm in my mood, when she's done something that just triggered me, just leave him alone. Leave him alone. Give him his space.
Hey, so I want to talk about that. Mm-hmm. That bothered me for a week.
But communication is really at the core of a lot of this.
And it's tough because, especially in the Latin community, like, our parents are so in their ways that it's literally about us, but y'all, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's going to take time.
It's gonna take
have
time
to undo
and uncomfortability.
Oh my God.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Uncomfortability.
It's undoing what they've learned to like unveil like the gem, the diamond that's underneath all the rugged stuff. Because like once you get past that, you can have such a beautiful relationship, even if this person has hurt you immensely. Now, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm gonna keep it 1,000%. If your trauma includes your parents molesting you,
that's essay.
My bad. This is
any of that,
and you need to cut them off, baby. Do what you gotta do. Once you harm your own child in that way, and if your parents,
that's what I'm saying. That
drag you like that. I mean,
everything is situation based, and it's like
everything's situation.
You can't hear someone just tell you.
There's gonna be somebody that's like, well, what if this happened? You're like, damn, that's dark.
Double homicide.
You feel me? Like, that clip lives rent free in my head. But like, you know, if that's your story, and unfortunately, you know, the person that was supposed to protect you did not protect you in that, yeah, I think you're justified in your cutoff. Yeah, for sure.
But also, don't hold that in. Get a third person to come in and help you.
Your body holds that. So just because you're not saying it out loud, it's gonna come up in other ways. You're gonna get sick more often. Now you got stomach ulcers, cysts. Your health starts to fail. You are not meant to hold on to secrets. You were not created for that. Why do you think there are so many people on their deathbed before they die? They blurt out all their secrets because they know they can no longer they don't want to take it to the grave. They literally don't. They need to let it go. They don't care who it is, who they talk to, whatever. They let it go. You were not meant to hold on to those secrets. Lord Jesus, I pray that if you are holding on to a secret for somebody, for yourself, for whatever, I pray that at some point you are given the peace to let it go so you can move on. Because I guarantee you that crick in your neck, that pain in your lower back, your shoulder hurting, it's probably some trauma that you tried to repress.
Nah, because the way you just diagnosed my whole back.
And your body.
Yo, I looked at the camera. Yo, run the clip back. You said the crick in your neck, and I'm like, how she fucking know?
Holy Spirit.
And then you're like, the pain in your lower back. I'm like,
she says one more thing, I'm slapping the shit.
The pain in no.
But no, like we're laughing, but it's so real. Like your body holds on to trauma. It's not just your mind. It's going to come out in other ways. And your health is going to start to take a toll of it on it. We were not meant to hold on to that. And like I said earlier, like I was not meant to hold on to anybody's secrets. I was not meant to, and I had to spill them in order to be better, in order to get better, in order to start to actually embrace the healing process. And that was tough. But if I wanted a relationship with my mother, then I had to let it go. I literally had to let all of that tea out, because I was like, we can't move forward until I tell you the reason why our relationship is the way that it is. And my mom looked at me and with tears in her eyes, and she was like, I'm sorry. And I remember telling her, and I was standing in the living room, and I was like, Ma, I can't hold on to this anymore. Like, I don't know how to tell you that I love you because this made it hard. But I do love you. And I just I was minutes from just, not even seconds from breaking down. And my mom came and she hugged me, and I just started sobbing. Like my body was like, finally, like I can breathe. And it was so freeing. And I wish I would have done it sooner. I'm glad that I did it when I did it, but I wish I would have done it sooner, because there would have been, I could have worked on my relationship with my mom a long time ago, but there was a person that was standing in the way of that. And it was exposing this person that I was able to be like, I'm here. I've always been here, but I didn't know if you saw me. And that, I know I broke my mom's heart that day when I said what I had to say, but sometimes you gotta break somebody's heart in order to set yours free. And that's what I did for myself. but not just for myself. It was for the betterment of like moving my family forward. You know, like I'm the only one that actively goes to church right now. My older sister's a believer, my mom's a believer, but I go into church and I get myself in community, and I'm actively in that. And it could be because God's using me to be the one to put my family back together again, but he couldn't use me until he humbled me first. He had to wash me first to be like, okay, are we ready now? And I don't even know if I'm fully ready yet, but I know that this right now, today, this episode is one of the steps that I had to take in order to continue that healing process. And, it's different. It's different to be on this side because you want to protect the people that you love, but how do you protect the people you love when they were the ones that were hurting you? And not many people have this platform. Not many people are able to share this. And I know people are probably going to hit me up and be like, yo. And I'm going to be like, go away for right now. Let me process what I just said, because this is the first time I've actually said it out loud on any of my platforms. And I'm glad that I got to share it with my Sofrito family.
And I will say thank you for sharing that. It was very vulnerable of you.
It's a safe space.
We haven't seen that from Nina.
Yet.
Not yet. In a while.
Yeah. So here we are. Yep. I will not be taking questions. So don't. I said what I said. So if I leave you on red, I meant it.
Vanish mode.
No, literally, like what? But yeah, a lot of revelations were had for me this weekend, and like we're talking about cutting off toxic family, but like your friend groups as well. I was in a setting, where I was with people that like I don't think I would consider them friends, but like we cool, and it sounds so stupid, but it just like the way that God uses small situations to shed light on why I was removed from the things I was removed from. I did karaoke for the first time this weekend, and Rube was like, "Bitch, for the first time?" Yes, here's why. The other humans I used to hang out with used to dim my light, and I didn't realize it because we would laugh about it. They used to be like, "You can't participate because you can sing. That's not even fair." Whatever. So I have a gift. I have the gift of song.
Not me, baby.
I have the gift of song, and
I would have thrown her ass in there.
You feel me? And so
figure it out.
This weekend I did it for the first time, and I was celebrated. My gift was celebrated. People were like, "Yeah, Nina, woo!" And it was interesting to me because there were people that were in attendance that used to be a part of that group, and their whole demeanor changed when they saw that I was present, that I was there. And I kept it a buck. Listen, old Nina would have been like, "Yeah, I'm all set." I would have let one person dictate my whole mood, and I would have left. I didn't do that this time. And what God revealed to me was that if I didn't remove you from this one space, from these people, you wouldn't be in this space right now. And with that, I would not have been able to use your voice to bring glory to me. So I've sang my whole life. And there have been people that were like, "Oh, she thinks she better because she can sing." And I'm like, that's so weird to say when like I literally kept it a secret for years. Like no one ever knew I could sing. What?
You know your words.
But like it was just like in those small moments of like, oh my God, like I was removed from this situation to be put in community with people who are going to celebrate me, and I can celebrate them in return. That wasn't the case in my past. And so it was a moment of gratitude, because if I was still hanging out with those people, who knows what I would have been doing on a Saturday night or a Friday night. You know what I mean? Friday night, you guys don't know what I was doing? I was reading my Bible. I was literally being a child of God, taking notes in scripture. And I laugh about it because I'm like, yo, like this really is a transformation of like not only the renewing of my mind, but my soul. And it makes it easier to show up in places, social anxiety and all. I gotta put the shameless plug. But if if you're looking for your why or your reason or that nudge to remove yourself from certain spaces, use this as your sign. If you're not being celebrated, if you're not being elevated, if you're not being cared for properly in the way that you need to be cared for, I think it's safe to pull the plug. I think it's okay to walk away. We can unplug it because you can always plug something back in. We can just unplug it for now. We're not shutting it off isn't gonna do anything for you. We need to unplug it so that way you can go about your business. Now at a later date, you can maybe plug it back, blow the dust off of it, plug it back in. But for right now, I think it's cool to take a step back. I wholeheartedly believe that. And just see the kind of person you can become if you're not attaching your existence, if you're not attaching your worth to a group. How are you as an individual? Cut them off. Cut them off. Cut them off. I'm very passionate about this topic because I'm a living testimony as to how it worked out for me. It's worked out pretty great, if I don't say so myself.
With all that being said, and me realizing that we're only recording off one microphone at the hour mark, let's close this section and head over to our last section, which is...
A reposar. How do you know that? So it's mine is picking up or yours is?
At some point, it just...
We're gonna make it work, baby. We're gonna make it work.
All right, y'all. This is Reposar, the part of the show where we leave you guys with some positive affirmations and any shout outs that we may have. I do want to shout out to everyone who's been tuning in this season. I see that I might get this name wrong, but I think her name is Maria Cristina. Shout out to you. You have been really commenting and hitting us up and letting us know that you truly are supporting. We are really appreciative of it. And you were somebody that I thought of when we rescheduled our recording on Saturday.
Oh.
And I was like, we gotta kind of get back on board with things. So shout out to you. Shout out to everyone else who's tuning in this season and rocking with us, because it has just started, but it's already been...
It's been pretty good.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good.
What quote do you have?
I said it earlier, but here we are. In light of our topic, how to cut off toxic friends or family. Sometimes you need to break somebody's heart in order to set your own free. And I'm gonna stick by that.
I'm gonna go with my CoStar app quote from yesterday. The water is deeper than it appears. And I feel like that is something that resonated with me, especially with all the changes that I'm trying to implement in my life. Just making sure that I understand. Baby, for me, how I interpret it is that it's not going to be surface level. You're going to have to look a little bit deeper into it to kind of get it together.
Hey.
But yeah, we got to the end. With all that being said, my name is Rosales and I'm blasting off.
And I'm Nina Montañez. Stay blessed, mi gente. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Sofrito Speaks.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Sofrito Speaks to keep up with all of our latest content.